Hey, Tiger fans, Mark Fitzpatrick, Tiger Club of Kansas City. It is Tuesday, January 21st, and we're very pleased today to have Executive Vice President, General Manager of the Kansas City Royals, J.J. Picollo. Thanks for coming out today.
My pleasure.
I got to say, as a guy who's followed the Royals since 1969, that maybe the exception of the championship seasons, last year was more fun to watch than about any other Royal season. When you look back on it, it was quite an accomplishment.
Well, first of all, thank you for saying that, and it was quite the accomplishment. And a lot of credit goes to a lot of different people. Number one, our scouts who identified players that we need to acquire. Then you look at our coaches, all the work they did with those guys, and then of course the players themselves. They're the ones who believed in themselves and went out and did it. You know, they were really from day one in spring training. Especially with the new guys we had, they said, we don't care what you did last year. We're more worried about what we're going to do this year. And that carried right on into the regular season and all the way through to the end.
Bobby Witt Jr. last year went from being a star to a true superstar. What changes did he make in the offseason last year to get to where he was?
Well, I think there was a big emphasis for him on not chasing pitches above the zone. You know, that was a little bit of his kryptonite, to chase that high fastball. Now, once he was able to lay off that pitch, and then it turned into a little bit of the slider down and away, and he laid off that pitch, that's when I think he really became a better hitter. And I know last offseason that was something he talked about and wanted to prepare for. And then, of course, he can hit the ball out of the ballpark, and then if you walk him, he can steal a base. So he became just a tough player to defend, and I'm just glad he's on our team.
Yeah, we are too. Your starting pitchers 2 years ago, I think, were 27th in the majors in ERA. Last year, they were second. It was an incredible job to rebuild that staff.
Yeah, well, once again, our pro scouts did a great job, and with support from ownership to go and be aggressive and sign a couple, what we think are very good players, in Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha. And not only did their performance impact our team, but their presence impacted our team. Brady Singer had a great year. Alec Marsh got better as the year went on. Cole Reagans continues to get better. And I think just the presence of guys like that has a cascading effect all throughout the clubhouse. And we certainly felt that with those two in particular.
Your top five guys made 151 starts, I think, last year. Very fortunate on the injury front, but you've done something in the offseason this year to help on the pitching depth if you're not so lucky this year, right?
Yeah, and we have to think worst case scenario, and how can we have the depth to overcome a starter getting hurt? So bringing Michael Lorenzen back was big. Michael Wacha being back. We have a lot of expectations for Noah Cameron, who would be making his major league debut. Kyle Wright is on his way back. Chris Bubich, who threw well out of the bullpen. We have plans on giving him an opportunity to start again. But it really takes – you like to go into the season with 8, 9, even 10 potential starting pitchers. Now, only 5 are going to start, but it doesn't mean the others can't be in the bullpen. And now you just have a really deep pitching staff, and that's what we're working towards.
Big off-season acquisition, Jonathan India from the Reds, straight from Brady Singer. You have both him and Michael Massey that have pretty much played second base. That's all they've done. What other positions could we see them at?
Yeah, we've spoken to both players, and they're both open-minded to trying the outfield. So left field could be a spot that one or both get time in left field. Jonathan was a third baseman in college, so we know he can play third base. So we're very confident that he can go there. It's going to take a little bit of time to work through in spring training and see them play left field to understand better what their abilities are. But I think more than anything, they're both winning type players, and they said they would do whatever the team needs, and that's the attitude that we need to make this work.
You mentioned Noah Cameron. Is he the guy that we might be the newcomer we see emerge this year, or anybody else?
Yeah, I think so this year. He got promoted to AAA, and I think he had 12 starts in AAA, and he was just absolutely dominant in AAA, which is a great sign. We felt confident last year if we had an injury late in the year that we would give him an opportunity to come up in a playoff chase. So I think that speaks to how confident we are in him. Now it's just a matter of him going out, continuing doing what he's done over the last several years, and then whenever that opportunity presents itself, he needs to be ready to jump in, and then we get going from there.
Last question I want to ask you is about the face of the franchise, Salvador Perez, bordering a Hall of Fame career. We got to keep him fresh. He's getting up there in years, caught a lot of games. What do you see his role this year as far as DH first base?
I think similar to what we did last year. The first hurdle was getting Salvi to say yes to DH and playing first because he just loves catching. And I think we all see the passion when he's back there. But in order for him to play as many games as he possibly can, keeping his legs fresh, mixing in first base, mixing in DH, is the best way to go. We did it a little bit last year. You might see a little bit more of it this year. But it's a nice combination with him and Vinny and Freddie Fermin. Those three rotating them through the first base, DH, and catching slot works very well. So it fits our team and how we're built. It still leaves another 80 games for somebody else to DH, but it's the direction we're going to go.
Okay. JJ, thank you.
Thank
you were an
you.
awesome guest today. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate taking time.
Thank you very much.
I know you don't have anything else to do. So. JJ Picollo, Kansas City Royals. Hey, folks, next week we'll have Brad Loos from the Mizzou Athletic Department come and visit us. And then a couple of weeks for you baseball fans, Jeff Passan from ESPN, who's their senior baseball writer. For more information on speakers and events, go to kctigerclub.com.